everybody that's watching this after and all the people that are joining in right now. We are going to be going live in about 5 to 10 minutes, give or take. This is going to be a big edition, a really big edition of Canucks news you might have missed. Jim Rutherford went out and spoke today. Very big stuff, man. So much little news. We have some from David Pagnotta. We have Rick Dollywall, Patrick Johnson, Gary Mason with Jim Rutherford. There's just a lot here. If you guys are watching this after, feel free to leave a like and a subscription if you guys want to be a part of this community. And we're going to get started in a few minutes here. So see you guys later. See you soon. Hello, all the people that are coming in here right now. We are going to be going live in a few minutes here. Get your questions in on the side for all the people that are in here. I already see a ton of people in here. Yellow, Swerving, what's going on, guys? Get your questions on the side. We're going to be going over all the news. There is a ton of news, a ton, especially with Jim Rutherford. He went out and he spoke. So, yeah, it's going to be a good one, guys. It's going to be a great show. Looking forward to doing this with you guys. We're going to get started in a few minutes. Cheers. Oh, I also forgot to mention we are going to be going live on Twitter as well. So if you're watching on Twitter, feel free to leave your comments there as well. We will have them on the screen as well. Thank you so much. See you guys soon. T-minus 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Sometimes it takes a few minutes to kind of load, Swerving. I had the same problem yesterday at Canucks Clay's stream, but it should work. Just keep it open, it should work. We're starting in 4 minutes. I knew you'd like that one, Yellow. All right, guys, we're starting in 2 minutes. Get your drinks. Get your beverages. I'm just finishing up, grabbing a couple more things for the stream, and we are good to go. It's going to be exciting. I didn't have to do that, Yellow. Corey did it for us already. Hello, hello, hello. What is going on, everybody? What is happening? You lovely, lovely people. Let me just adjust this real quick. I hope you guys are having a good day. Nice to have you guys with us. It's going to be a good stream. There is, there's a ton. There is a ton of news to talk about. Like, Jim Rutherford went out and he spoke on, and he's fully on board now. If people were wondering, like I was, hey, is he really? They are fully on board, and you're going to see some of the quotes. You're going to see some of the recaps. We have a bunch to share with you guys today. It's going to be an awesome stream. I really believe that. There's so many people in here already. What is going on, guys? Nice to have you guys here. Always a pleasure. I start off my stream by letting people know, if you guys want to be a part of this awesome community, we have a really respectful, kind, and just a really active community here. Feel free to leave a like, subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the Canucks regular season. Also, leave a comment, be interactive. We're on YouTube. We're also on Twitter, so feel free, if you guys want to be a part of it, go ahead. You guys can leave your comments, Q&As. We're going to be going over all the news. I'm going to ask you. It's very interactive. This is how we do things here. And yeah, it's going to be a blast. All right. Also, feel free, if you guys want, you guys can super chat as well or become members. People have been asking about the custom emojis. Apparently, you need 1,000 subscribers for that. I don't know if that's the case. I have to double check that again. But if not, we'll get those in there pretty soon. All right. Let's rock and roll. First off, let's get to the comments here. Yellow's here. You are first, indeed. Well, technically, I'm first. Technically, I'm first. All right. Meat is back on the menu. Swerve and Irvin said, missed the GR set. I'm coming into this cold. Perfect. Then it's going to be great for you, man. Based on the Brucks post-game interview the other night, sounds like he could waive the no-trade clause if asked. We will talk about that for sure. Who knows? Let's go. More Canucks news. But man, JR is on something today. I hate all the injuries. Yeah, man. It's not fun. That's for sure. Loving that Mario 64 theme. It's one of my favorites, man. One of my all-time faves. Gets the snacks while Doodle tries to decipher Jim Rutherford's ramblings. Hey, you know what? I got Corey to do it for me. It's easier that way. Is Corey a buddy of mine? I follow his Twitter even before I sub to his Twitter. We met like this. Literally, I just messaged him on Twitter one day, and since then we've just been doing content together, and he became a friend of mine. So yeah, we didn't know each other beforehand or anything. It's pretty cool that way. Gary Mason always gets the scoops. Yeah, for sure. Heard there's interest in Hoglanders. One trade I'll be upset about. Love me some big hog. What's up, Jude? What's going on, man? It's crazy. Over a year and a half ago, the Canucks were in the playoffs in Game 7 of Round 2, and now we're 32nd in the league. Then Quinn Hughes and Miller are gone. Tough times. Yeah, it's tough, but you know what? If this organization commits to a rebuild, and they're saying the right things today, and we're going to go over it, if they actually go out and do it, I'm telling you, it would be amazing. It would be amazing for them to rebuild and do this properly and slowly start building a championship team, because at the end of the day, it's about winning the cup. It's not about making the playoffs. Tanking, Jerry Jones, love the headlines. Pro tip, you can't leave long answers on Twitter. Oh, there you go. Well, technically, yeah. You don't pay Corey enough? Yeah, I pay him a total of $0. Now, he you know what? He's going to start a YouTube channel one day, and I told him, you know, when he eventually does, like, I want him to at least get it open so I can start tagging him in it. But, you know, we do a lot of stuff together. I post his Twitter and stuff like that, so it's nice that we're helping each other out. He's a really good guy, and yeah, it's just fun talking hockey, right? Thank you, Corey, because without him, I have to buy the subscription, the Athletic. True story, I actually bought the Athletic for years and years, and then one year I wasn't really paying attention to the resubscription bonus or whatever, and I paid like $50 or something a month or so. I don't know what the hell it was. It was a huge amount. It's supposed to be like $2 a month, and since then I just decided to not do it. And then now I'm on and off. If I get a deal on it, maybe I'll do it for a few months here and there. So I'm technically on it, but it's really cheap right now. What's the big odds in the trade going down before you finish? Yeah, wouldn't that be nice? Some breaking news while we're doing it. All right, guys, let's get to the news here. Thank you so much for hanging out. Let's get to it. Let's start with, what do we got here? Rick Dollywall here. Oh, also, I have this little menu here. I set this up a little bit just for the shorts people, the people that are in the mobile stream. So I'll kind of have both. I'll be bouncing between both, but this one's actually kind of nice because they could see it as well really, really nicely on the bottom left corner there. So that's for them. All right. Hronek. Would not be surprised if a lot of teams have reached out to the Canucks about him. Would be a prime target to be the next captain. So this is a pretty major talking point. With the Vancouver Canucks, man, we were trying to figure out who's going to be the next captain. Well, originally a lot of people thought it would be someone like Brock Besser, but man, he's been struggling. He's been really struggling. A lot of people now are leaning more towards potentially trading him. You know what I mean? Hey, guys, give me 1 second. I just got to mute the mic for 1 sec. My wife came home. She needs to get it run across with my dog here. Just came back from the dog park. So give me 1 sec. Never mind. She says she doesn't need to right now. I guess he's not as dirty as I thought he was going to be. All right, where were we? Yeah, so he'd be a prime target to be the next captain. So right off the bat, guys, do you think it's a good idea for Hronek to be the next captain of the Vancouver Canucks? If you're going by ability and how hard he works and the on-ice effort and everything on ice, then I think it would be a great captain. He's respected by the management. He's respected by the ownership. He's respected by the players. But if you're a media member, could not be a worse pick for you guys. The guy does not do media. He doesn't like doing media. We know this. This has been talked about a million times. He's not a media guy. It's not his thing. And if you're going to be the captain, you're going to have to do a lot of media, a ton of media. So my question is, can you have a captain that just simply doesn't do lots of media? That's weird, right? Like, I don't think we've ever seen that before. So curious what you guys think about that. Quickly here, Yellow says, love the new mobile view. Yeah, it's nice for the people that are on their phones. You can see it much clearer now. Hopefully that's way better. That's one of the things people wanted us to improve for the mobile people. So that's exactly what we did. I want Captain Hronek for just the memes. Hronek is the strong, silent type. He would be a good, intimidating captain on the ice. Nah, he doesn't do a media. Media, that's why they do it. Stick it to the media. Now we get Quinn back in free agency and make him captain. 4D chess. Quinn actually comes back here. He was never going to stay gone for long. That'd be great. I mean, we had a goalie captain. Canucks can do whatever they want. That's a good point. Good take. Rourke can be the captain, but he needs a Paul Haim to get on the mic for him. So there you go. A wrestling reference. Well done. What do we got here? Nils Höglander. Teams are calling about him. He's a player that the Canucks could trade. Might need a change of scenery. Multiple head coaches have healthy scratched him. So on the segment, they're talking about how there's so many head coaches that have scratched him. He just can't seem to find him. I do worry about trading a guy like Hogg. He was hurt. He didn't get a proper training camp. When you don't get the time you kind of need to kind of warm up and go into the season at a proper pace, it takes a while to catch up. He's been better recently, but I think he doesn't even have a point yet still. And he makes what? Around $3 million, I believe, right? Let me just double check that. I think it's 3 immediate. Höglander. Yeah, so Höglander, he's on year 1 of his deal, $3 million. So if you want to save cap, sure, but I feel like he's one of those guys who will figure it out. So that's kind of scary when you have things like that happening. I don't know. Let me ask you guys, would you guys trade Höglander? Let me know. Kiefer Sherwood, still traveling with the team. One team thinks that the league will wait until he is healthy before trading for him. The Toronto Maple Leafs want him but don't have the assets. Yeah, Leafs don't have, unless they're giving away that Easton Cowan kid, which they're not going to. He's been playing really well for Toronto. They don't have the assets. I don't think they even have the first rounder. I don't think they have it. I just don't see that working personally. So as for people waiting until they're healthy, I think you can still trade him while he's hurt. Just depends how hurt, how long he's going to be gone. But apparently some teams would like to wait, per Rick here. So there's an interesting thing there. On Garland, loved around the league, was told the Canucks won't trade him yet, nothing imminent. So nothing's really going on with Garland there. All right, so this is the Patrick Johnson, the original interview that kind of got a lot of people talking. I was going to probably stream earlier today, but I was actually quite busy. And I'm kind of happy I waited now because now we have the Gary Mason follow-up as well. But definitely go read that. Show some love to Patrick Johnson here. And we have our man Corey with the recap once again. So let's get straight to it. Jim Rutherford. All right. So this is going to be interesting, guy. Really good stuff here. It is their duty to take calls on every player. The original intent was not to be involved in every core player, and it may end up staying that way. But Alvin is listening in on everyone. Alvin is the GM, and part of this duty is to make changes to the roster. Even Myers is part of trade discussions. I do find it funny. He's like, even Myers. Because a lot of people thought there's no way they're going to trade him because, he loves it here and he's only another year and a bit, right? So that's actually pretty funny that he actually meant that, even Myers. Have to be patient and live through their current struggles. I love to hear that. That's good. We'll stick to either getting young players, 25 or younger, or getting draft picks. We've heard this before, but there's some really good stuff a little bit later on here. There will be deals available that could improve the Canucks right now, but won't be a positive over a 3-year period. Believes the rebuild can take 2 or 3 years rather than 6 or to 10. That's a huge gap between 2 and 10. I thought they were going to say like 3 to 4 years. 2 is too quick. Even if you absolutely hit elite talent in this draft and next draft, still going to take longer than 2 years. I think 3 to 4 years, you can make that argument. 2 years is still too tight. But hey, at least they're saying rebuild, right? Think signing veteran players are necessary. I don't mind that as long as we trade some of the vets we have already. Can't just have a bunch of 22-year-olds and throw them to the Wolves. I agree. It's not a fire sale. Some guys will stay. Some people would like to see a fire sale, but it's not going to be. But the question is, who's going to be going and who's not going to be going? And I don't think that he's just talking about Sherwood and Kane. I think he's maybe hinting at some of the other guys. Not a total surprise that they're losing, given the amount of rookies in the lineup and we're battling a virus for 2 weeks. Okay, so they're sick, so that's not good. Losing gets them a better draft position, and if they don't stick to the process, the rebuild will take longer. Preference is to pick as high as they can in the draft. So, right off the bat, Jim Rutherford said some good stuff here, and we have some more stuff from Jim Rutherford. Really good statements there made from Jim Rutherford with Gary Mason that we'll get to in a second. So, what do you guys think about that? Let me get back to the comments here. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is at the end of every game would go hard. Barack. Honestly, our coaches have been giving up on him too early. He has one bad game. He's a fall guy. Which guy are you talking about specifically? Leafs barely have a GM, let alone assets. Myers, I don't want to leave the Canucks. Grown-ups are talking. Canucks, I have not a bad word ever to say about Tyler Myers. And you know what? He's been pretty good for us in the last few years. Maybe this year it's not the best year for him, but he's been a soldier for us, man. Like, some people even wanted him as captain. No joke. Like, he's been a soldier for us. Canucks need to do Leonardo Cabra and dump anyone over 25 years old. Drafting is more than just drafting superstars. You need depth guys too. Absolutely. And this is what I mean. Like, it's not just about quantity. It's about quality. But quantity sure helps. Having more possible hits by more possible ways of doing, like more draft picks, right? To draft higher. Okay, how do I word this? Having more draft picks to get more shots, to get good players, obviously is important, right? Especially in your rebuild. That's why you need to have as many shots as possible. Get as many draft picks as possible. Spread them out through the years and hope some hit. That's why when he's doing the window of 2 years or whatever, or 2 to 3 years, like if it's 2 years, you would have to hit like the Seattle Seahawks did in the last couple years. Like get like 6 or 7 star players, all young guys, on their roster in like a couple of drafts. You know, that's what the Canucks would need to do. It's going to take time, guys. It's going to take a minimum 3 years. I think that's more than fair. I think you can be on the upswing in 2 to 3 years like Montreal. True. I agree. But Montreal, as of right now, has something that we do not have, and that is a true number one center, unless you really believe in Petey to be that guy once again. And he has been playing a lot better recently. A lot better. So that's really nice to see. And Montreal is one of the examples of doing a quick rebuild. But there's a lot of other teams that tried to do the quick rebound, like the Rangers, and now look at them. They're getting absolutely crushed again today. They're going to have to go on another rebuild. Maybe another letter is going to come by. But I understood what they did, man. It's just they stopped the rebuild too soon. They were on the right path, and then they said, nope, we're going to start going for it. And I guess they had a good run. They made it pretty far. But now they're in that position where they're in. And just look at that whole JT Miller situation now, right? By the way, nice to see you, Seattle. How's it going, buddy? Oh, Settle, sorry. By the way, Montreal, that crowd was so good. So entertaining. Really good. Really entertaining crowd. And, man, that team is fast, man. Young and fast. Rounds 4 to 7 is depth. Sometimes a superstar is hiding. I agree. You need as many shots as possible to get those superstars. Louis, our tank commander has arrived. If you guys don't know, Louis's been on the tank train. He's the guy leading the charge from the very beginning. Our commander in arms is here. Louis, what's going on, man? What are you gonna do with Demko, man? Fudge. What are you going to do with Demko? Hopefully he can stay healthy for a certain amount of time, and then you're probably going to have to move him. It doesn't make sense to have an elite goaltender in a rebuild. I just don't, especially for a few, like 3 years, right? So it just doesn't make sense. Hopefully he stays healthy, and hopefully everything is going to be okay there. But at the end of the day, we just got him. Like, he's been hurt too much, man. No one's going to trade for a guy who's gotten 6 or 7 injuries just in the past couple years. It's just nonstop with him, man. We want him to play, but we don't want him to just continue. Like, we need, if we're going to do anything with him, and maybe he does stick around. He's a good guy. He wants to be a Canuck. This is something that we do want. We want people who want to stay here and be here to be a part of it. But, yeah, I don't know, man. What do you guys think in chat? More swings is better. In the last 5 years, the Canucks have had 35 draft selections versus Montreal's 55. Good point. Hey, what's going on, man? Hey, Dor. How's it going, buddy? All right, let's get back into the news. This is David Pug Noda here. Let's get into it at the fourth period. So shout out to him. All right, Sherwood. The Canucks and Sherwood both wanted to have made a trade by now. Let me just move this out of the way. Sorry, move this out of the way. There we go. Sherwood wanted to make a trade by now. So that's interesting. So it looks like Sherwood wanted to have this trade done by now as well. So that's really good. Man, that mobile view actually looks really nice. Yeah, it looks nicer than I thought. I didn't think it was going to come out that clean. Very high price has been set. This is continued, by the way. They've mentioned that many times at a very high price. They want. Most latest report is the Canucks are looking for a first rounder, a really good prospect, and something else. The Canucks to have conversation with a bunch of teams, even with his injury. Teams would like to know if the price can be dropped a little due to his injury, but the Canucks said no and are holding firm on the asking price. The Canucks said no because we're not close enough to the trade deadline yet, and he'll be healthy and playing games way before that. So there's no real point if they're going to be asking for a lot. They still want it. They still believe they can get it. Good for them. But I think they're probably going to end up around 2 seconds or a second, third, something in that range, but we'll see. Almost every player, every playoff team wants him on the roster. So, like, there's demand there, right? That's good. Waiting on to see how he rebounds after returning to injury. That's important. The rest of the Canucks. At one point, there was a notion that the Canucks had some players they wouldn't trade, have since admitted this will be a full rebuild. It's good. DeBrusk is a player most open to the change of scenery, willingness to move him, and for him to accept a move to the right location. So DeBrusk is a player most open to a change of scenery. That's new news. Like, that's new news there. I haven't heard that yet. That's interesting. Willingness to move him to accept me. So, question to you guys, chat. What do you think Jake DeBrusk is worth in a trade? Do you think you can get a first rounder for him? Interesting. Easier to move money in the offseason. In regards to Pettersson, that's true. There's definitely smoke around Pettersson. So there has been a lot of smoke in the last few days about Pettersson. So something to look into, man. Like, they've been talking about him. Today there was a lot of discussion about Pettersson as well. Will the Canucks actually pull the trigger? I do wonder, man. I really do wonder. That's a tough... It's not even that hard to trade. I think teams would be able to be interested in him and would like to get him to come to their team. I just don't know how do you value Pettersson? Like, the one way you can think about it, he's a premium asset. He's a center. He's not playing the best hockey of his career, but he's not playing bad. He's had 5 goals in 9 games. 9 goals in 20 games. He's starting to pick it up, but he's still on pace for 60, 70 points in that range. So, like, what is he worth? I'd love to ask you guys. Garland's name has started to circulate, which is interesting because of the other earlier report, but they don't want to trade him. But his name's out there, so who knows? Thought there would have been more Canucks traded by now. I agree. I'm actually surprised they haven't. But they have until the deadline, right? Far speculates that the Kings and Blackhawks make a lot of sense as a trade partner for Pettersson. Chicago Blackhawks have a lot of rentals. Connor Murphy, Nick Foligno, Jason Dickinson, Ilya Mikheyev, plus others. There's interest in those players. A lot of teams would be interested in acquiring Mikheyev. However, the Blackhawks want to see if they can extend him. Foligno will dictate his future. All right, so what do you guys think about that? Let me get into chat. All right. Louis the Logger with, one sec. It was right up here. Where were we? Howdy Doodle. Clearing. Oli was the most recent memory. I think we should wait until next season to trade PD, see how he performs after we draft McKenna and Stenberg. Not a bad idea. And to be honest, there's no rush on him. He has a no moving clause anyway, right? He has a no moving clause. Like, he gets to choose where the hell he wants to go. That's something that's really important. And if we do draft one of those guys, it would be nice to see them kind of play together and see if they have any chemistry together. It could change things. Also, it's not easy to acquire centers, guys. It's really difficult. They always go early in the draft. Like now, people have Malhotra as the number 3 pick. The most recent, Malhotra is ahead of Lawrence now at number 3. Part of the Montreal rebuild is Suzuki and Caulfield were already, plus Gallagher and Anderson are there to support. Very good point. Sell Demmer, it will suck, but it's time. Louis the Logger, the commander, with the choo-choo, the big train there, Dora. What's going on? Damn, only if you got a good goaltender near Shilov's. Well, Shilov's been up and down this year for the Penguins. We do have a lot of good goaltenders, man. Tolopito's a good goalie. You know, we have Ty Young. He's all right. But we have Medvedev. He's going to be coming up. He's a really good goalie, probably 3-4 years away. We have goalies in the system. We have goalies all the way through up the system, right? So it's not that. Rate your level of faith in the Canucks doing a true rebuild. Okay. What is your definition of a true rebuild? If you're talking about sell everybody, I would say it's not going to happen. But what's my level of faith? I've heard this before, but I feel like it's so bad and clear now. It's so bad and clear now. I would be stunned if they don't follow through. So I'm going to go and be a little optimistic. I'm going to put 7 out of 10. I'd love to hear what you guys think. I don't even know what that is. Kinda Rich ask. Hello, SGA. Nice to have you in here, buddy. Someone will cave and pay the price for Sherwood. Yeah, it's very possible. How am I? I'm doing good. Doing good. Just hanging out, talking hockey. Hands on the toe. You want to do the thing? Where's the Sharks pulling the thing? I've been busy these days. I only do collaborations from time to time, and now I'm back to full-time jobs right now, so I'm probably not going to be doing a lot of stuff like that. I barely do my post-game shows on this channel, you know. The last, I think I've done one of the last 3. Now, I've been doing stuff on other people's channels from time to time, but maybe in the future, sure. DeBrusk will be a draft day trade. Jake, yeah, DeBrusk, but that is assuming EP40 waives his no trade clause. Yes, correct. He gets to choose where he's going to go. Hell yeah, DeBrusk is worth a first. Look at the term salary left. So, if you, Jake DeBrusk reminds me of JVR. And if I'm not mistaken, back in the day, JVR, around the same age, got traded for a first rounder plus a prospect as well. Like, he's good out front of the net. He's good on the power play. He's not the best 5-on-5 player, and he's not the best defensively, but he's not the worst. He coasts around sometimes. He's not very physical, but he's streaky. I really wonder if a team like maybe Edmonton would be interested in him. If we were banned and stick to this, sucks too. We lose Vancouver. It's up to him. A player, Luc Dubois, can be traded for 3 different times. There's a market for Pettersson too. Absolutely. There's definitely a market for Pettersson. 100%. I feel like we're going to be greedy with Sherwood, and it might be backfire, which is my concern as well. That is one of my concerns with Sherwood, that we waited too long, especially if they've gotten already a first rounder offered. I think they should have taken it. Apparently they haven't, though. Rick Dhaliwal stated many, many times that if they've already had an offer of a first, they would have accepted it. So I don't think they have got offered that. But have they got offered 2 seconds? I don't know. I'm not in there. Yeah, with the Bull in the arena. Yep, I like to move for that number 13 pick. I would love to move up. I would love to move up and get another mid pick. There's going to be so many wingers there. Get the ball. Would one of Stenberg and McKenna be considered even a first elite winger not named JT Miller? Yes. But the thing is, Stenberg's a little bit more NHL ready. McKenna's going to take time, man. I think he's going to take at least 3-4 years before he's really going to reach the level that we're expecting him. I don't think he's going to be doing Bedard numbers in the first couple years or Celebrini numbers or anything like that. He's going to take a little bit more time. That's fine. Or the barbershop sign, I see. Everyone reminds me of Bobby Lou. My definition of true rebuild is simply for a team to make it sound patient moves, whatever they are. That's really nice, man. Yeah. Barbershop is where we're chatting over a shave. I see. Next up here, this is some stuff from Pagnotta. This is on the Leafs, Blues, and Vegas. All right, Gary Mason. This is the big one. This is the one that everybody's been talking about a little bit in the last few hours. This is published now 3 hours ago. Jim Rutherford says the Canucks are open for business as they navigate the rebuild. Let's get into it. All right. So go show some love to Gary Mason. All right. What happened in the past? When he arrived in Vancouver, Rutherford thought the Canucks were a team with a lot of potential. Details about Miller and Pettersson feud are murky but involved an intense dislike between them. Affected the entire dressing room. Rutherford thinks it was an inflection point. Trading Miller and Hughes meant they lose the two driving forces that made the Canucks successful. Doesn't think that trading Miller made Hughes want to leave, but believes it was Hughes' desire to play with his brother or at least be out east. As for the new direction, short-term future is bleak and are now in a full rebuild. That is supported by ownership. Ownership always wants to do what is best for the Canucks. So, first question is, do you believe that statement? Do you think they finally reached to that point now that they're going to allow the Canucks to do a full rebuild? Will grow young players and utilize the Canucks' excellent development system. Thinks that they might expand the development. That's interesting. Says they have a head start on the rebuild clock because they started developing goalies and defensemen 2 to 3 years ago. And those are positions that are really hard to develop. Also, we traded for a really good young defenseman as well. Like we got Zeev Buium. And also we have good young forwards there in Marco Rossi's fairly young. And Ogren. And we're going to have our draft picks and all that stuff. And we have guys already like Willander as well. And so like there's a lot of stuff there for sure. And we have interesting pieces there to build with for sure. But it's going to take a time, man. It's going to take a lot of time. Canucks can do better than other teams that took a long time to rebuild. Doesn't mind it being ugly this year because getting that high draft pick is important. So that's interesting him to actually just go out and say it. Now, this year, like I still, like, I would love for him to say this year, next year, and the next year. But I guess we'll just take the this year. Thinks that Besser's play has suffered since Hughes left. They were very good friends. Yeah, could be a possibility for sure. Could be a possibility. And Brock Besser, man, we just want him to score, man. Like, it's been so long, just for his confidence. Just be nice to see Brock just snipe one next game or something. You know what I mean? Like, just raise the vibes a little bit there for Brock at least. Need to have veterans mentor younger players. I always agree with that. There's no problem with that. And here we go. No player is off limits from being traded. We're open for business. Look at that. That's a great statement. About Adam Foote is doing about as good of a job as possible given all the injuries they've had. So he's protecting Foote there. Rutherford's future. Eventually will have to step away from the game, but is committed to the rebuild and his job. When asked if he is committed to next season, he says, as we speak, yes, I am. Mason doesn't think Rutherford will be a part of the Canucks in 3 years' time, but points out that Lou Lamoriello was president, GM of the Islanders at 82 years old. So, what do you guys think about that one? What do you guys think? Where are we? Okay, we got there. Where were we? Right here. Manny and Abbotsford with McKenna and Caleb. What a wild phrase. We are retooling. No, we are rebuilding. No, we are keeping veterans. Screw it, fire sale. It's so odd. Well, yeah, it's the communication. I think people were it's so hot in my house, by the way. I think people were just wanting to get a lot of people in the organization just to communicate this a little bit better. Like, it's just the lack of proper communication where it was 1 week to the next week to the next week, it was something different. If they're consistent with this now, from now on, well, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Screw it. If they're consistent with that and they start shipping some guys and start doing some rebuild moves and continue to use only the word rebuild and start getting stuff done that looks for the future, and they don't try to fast forward or shortcut or do any stuff like that. There was a comment there about shortcutting. They're not going to be doing any more shortcuts, which is important as well. I can find that direct quote. Give me a sec here while we get to that. Yeah. Then I think people would be a lot more like fine with it. It's just there were so many things about like there was just so many things about the Canucks and the way they communicate with the fans. It drives people nuts, and it would be just nice for them to actually be open and honest. And maybe even I said a letter would have been a nice thing. Like, personally, I think it would have been okay, man. Personally, I think it would be fine. What do we got here? So LeBron on what the Canucks went on the winning streak after the huge trade. There was a sense that ownership on down that they could maybe do a hybrid rebuild, but things could be quicker. But I think the reality has now officially set in that they need a full rebuild. So we had that mini win streak, and they're like, oh, and then it's just reality hit. By the way, Canucks Central said the guy to keep an eye on right now is Jake DeBrusk. So keep an eye on Jake DeBrusk. Garlic bread with the $2 donation. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, man. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Can everybody give some love to Garlic Bread BEV, man? I really appreciate that, buddy. Good stuff. Thank you. What do we got here? Oh my God, Aquilini agreed to a rebuild. That's what he's saying. Apparently, we're doing a full-blown rebuild. People are pretty happy right now. Yeah, we're going to suck next year. People want to fire Adam Foote, but there's no point. The thing is, I don't like talking about firing people very often. It's just not my cup of tea. I would be pretty surprised if he stays past this season, but who knows? It really depends on what the management thinks, if he really did get the short end of the stick this season or not. I'll say this, man. Some of these sittings of some of these young players has been kind of annoying. It's starting to agitate me a little bit, but I'm sure he has a reason for it. He's saying because they don't want him to play too many games. They're not used to it. I say just play the damn best players you have. And it doesn't matter if they're young or old. Just play the best guys. The ones who deserve to play. Like, I don't care if he's freaking a veteran or not. Always wants to do is bottom line. Imagine admitting to tanking. WTF. Would you rather have in a draft McKenna? I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I am on Team McKenna, but I would be fine with Stenberg. Either one of those guys, I think people would be very happy with. I just think the upside is a little higher at the top end, at the very peak of their around the same age limit. I think McKenna is just a little bit better of a hockey player, but Stenberg could be better, and he has a more NHL-ready game right now. He'll probably look better for the first 2 to 3 years, but McKenna, I think, is going to pull away in the year 4 or 5, something like that. So I have McKenna ahead of Stenberg, but it's very close. Very close. Islanders will be in town on the 19th. By the way, Schaefer is insanely good. Like, insanely good. Nucks for Life is a big Stenberg guy. When does Foote contract expire? Do you know? He has another year after this, plus the Canucks have an option for another season after that, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that's what it was. A 3-year deal. 1 more year plus an option by the Canucks in the last year. But I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's what I remember. Someone can confirm that. That would be great. Starting to build from the back end is smart. Just look at Chicago. They had Keith, Seabrook, Jomerson, prior to arrival of Kane and Taves, and they signed Brian Campbell. Yeah, but they also had, Patrick Kane. They had, I get it. I understand it, but right now in this draft, you have these 2 elite wingers, and usually you don't want to, build through a wing, but you pick one of those 2 wingers. You can't pick just the best defenseman. We're not going to make the same mistake we made with Olio Levy, where Kachuk was right there and we went with Oli Olevi for need. I just don't think that. Now, then again, it's a little different situation because we kind of need everything. But our defense, we do have a lot of young, good defensemen, right? McKenna for name value, he'll move merch. Yeah, and their marketing potential there is pretty good, for sure. And in 2020 and 209 to Kingmaker, Marian Hossa. Honestly, our number one priority after this season is building an actual good practice facility and organizational culture like San Jose did. Culture is extremely important and something that, regardless of what they said, we have not had a good culture. And maybe you need to reset the whole organization to go and do that by trading guys who've been around the league or around the team for a long time to reset that culture. I don't know, or maybe give more responsibilities to the younger guys. I don't know what it's going to take, but I spot on agree with you. And having a practice facility would be nice, man. Like but apparently there's some rumblings on that coming here soon, so stay tuned on that. Chicago's dynasty build was like an 80-year process. True. Again, thank you, Garlic, for that, man. Appreciate it, buddy. Yellow Kodiak. But hockey is also a different game now than it was then. Teams build different. 100% correct. I think a world-class facility in False Creek is the answer. Live, work, play. Watch they go on a 2-game win streak. 2 games, not bad. DeBrusque back to Boston. Interesting. They have things to give for sure. Bill Zito basically in 4 years of rebuild of Barkov, Ekblad, Bobrovsky, and trading for Matthew Tkachuk. And knowing that the Huberdeau, the trading at top value of, like, Huberdeau's coming off, 100-point year. Weir was a really good defenseman. At that time, a lot of people thought Florida got killed in that trade, and then it turned out to be the exact opposite. Man, that was an unbelievable trade, man. Unbelievable trade with that Tkachuk trade. Want to go into, and we're back to there. Don't jinx it, man. Ironic. Vancouver, the home of ironic. If we were rebuilding McKenna, if you want to improve now, Stenberg. I think it's fair. I think both guys are going to be elite. New York Islanders have been waiting for Schaefer since Potvin retired. Your draft the best player available, period. I'm okay with that. Can never have too many D. 100% agree. But you can also remember, like, we're going to be drafting high, not just in the first round this year, but we have a second-round draft pick. We're going to be drafting very high there as well, and throughout the rest of the rounds, right? And there should be some decent names out there to get. I would like to see them package some of those picks, those mid picks, and whatever we get from Sherwood, move up in the top 10 to 15 range of this draft, and see if we can snag a guy like Malhotra or Lawrence or something like that in that mid-tier range. If Lawrence drops, he probably won't. He's probably going to go top 5. But if he drops in that 10 range, you never know. Centers don't usually drop. Or maybe you go for a winger. There's going to be some guys, some really interesting name. What if Ethan drops? That would be an interesting guy to move up and pick if you wanted to get 2 wingers. Like, there's options out there, right? Also, next year we can draft the center. We don't have to draft the center this year. Keep McKenna wherever down. He doesn't even have to play for us next year. And you know what? You could just keep him away from this, tank for another year or 2, bring up the centers, kind of bring them up together. There's lots of options, right? Look at the Oilers that built a new arena, paid in full. Potvin, yep. We'll be drafting high in the next few years. Exactly. We can fill our center position in the next few rounds of the draft for sure. DeBrusque, Sherwood for a top 10. Too bad we traded our 3rd-round pick this draft to Calgary. Don't remind me. And we also have Coots cooking in the pipeline. Exactly. And Coots is probably going to be a 3C for us for a while. Could move up for a 2C, an absolute home run if he becomes a 1C. But could be a captain of our team in the future. So, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It was a lot of fun doing this with you guys. A lot of information, a lot of news on Jim Rutherford. And I hope you guys have an awesome day. Drop a like if you guys haven't yet on the YouTube stream. Leave a comment in the video if you guys would like. And subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscriptions or subscribers until the end of the Canucks regular season. All right. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Always a pleasure. Go Canucks, go. We got a game tomorrow, I believe, right? Who are we playing tomorrow? Canucks schedule. What's next on our Columbus Blue Jackets? 4 o'clock. All right. I might or might not do a post-game show for that. I've been doing a lot of stuff in the last few. Maybe or maybe not. I am working tomorrow, so we will see if I'm going to be able to pull this out or not. But either or, I hope you guys have an awesome time, all right? Thanks for hanging out, guys. Take care. Good night. Cheers.